It's a medical emergency! This man's heart is failing! Its beat is fading away. Quick! He's just flatlined! What do you do? We've seen it 100 times in movies and on TV. You just grab a complicated sounding machine called a defibrillator, rub the paddles together, charge it up, shout "clear," and blast his chest with a number of volts, shocking his heart back to life. Right? Or is it possible that Hollywood has been portraying this life or death moment incorrectly for years, giving the average viewer a somewhat skewed idea of how defibrillation actually works? Specifically, can a defibrillator really restart your heart, bringing you back from the dead just like in the movies?
I'm Stu, this is Debunked, and we're here to sort the truths from the myths and the facts from the misconceptions.
Please like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments about the worst movie you've seen with a bad depiction of defibrillation being performed. I'll start things off with this hilarious scene.
Juice me. 1, 2, clear.
Alright, first things first, what actually is a defibrillator, and what exactly is it used to treat?
Defibrillators are electrical devices used to treat cardiac arrest, caused by life-threatening heartbeat irregularities, known more technically as cardiac arrhythmias. This can manifest in a number of ways. It could mean the heart is beating too quickly, too slowly, or simply irregularly. While many cases of arrhythmia are not serious and some may have no symptoms at all, other forms can be extremely dangerous and predispose those affected to strokes, heart failure, and sudden death. Bad times. Cardiac arrhythmias are caused by problems with the electrical signaling of the heart. In normal heart function, electrical impulses emanate from a region of specialized cardiac muscle called the sinoatrial node, which are then distributed across the heart via a network of electrically conductive cells. This whole structure is known collectively as the cardiac conduction system, and is what generates and regulates the heart's contractions, aka the heartbeat. Since it is these contractions that pump the blood around your body, such that you are able to remain conscious and continuously breathe from moment to moment, living and whatnot, serious malfunctions of the heart's electrical system constitute an immediate medical emergency. The most dangerous cardiac arrhythmias may cause a person to faint within seconds and stop breathing, which is, from a medical perspective, not ideal. That is where defibrillators come in. Though the actual physical mechanism of how electrical shocks affect cardiac muscle is not fully understood, defibrillators work by delivering a short therapeutic dose of electrical current, which depolarizes the heart's electrical conductive cells at once, essentially resetting them. This allows them to restart at the same time and hopefully re-establish a normal synchronous rhythm.
Given the complicated medical nature of all this, it's unsurprising that media depictions haven't always been particularly accurate, and has led to a host of myths surrounding this topic.
But it's not a new technique by any means. The idea of defibrillation emerged at the dawn of the 20th century. However, it wasn't until the late 1940s that the first human open-chest defibrillation took place. This was followed a decade later with the first closed-chest defibrillation, or external defibrillation. These days, some patients even have a small cardiac defibrillator implanted in a similar way to a pacemaker. But the external defibrillator is what most people will be familiar with. Your thoughts of this device may be accompanied by a doctor rubbing handheld paddles together, then yelling and shocking a convulsing patient as they place the paddles on their chest.
Clear!
First of all, while these manual defibrillators certainly do involve handheld paddles being operated by doctors, these types are usually confined to hospitals, or are for use by highly trained medical professionals at the site of a medical emergency. A lot of the portable defibrillators that are commonplace today are designed very differently, especially those intended for use by members of the general public. These portable devices are designed to be used in the event of a sudden cardiac arrest outside of a medical setting. They can be operated by pretty much anyone and don't require prior knowledge or training. Called automated external defibrillators, or AEDs, these will likely feature sticky electrode pads rather than the handheld paddles you see in most movies. If the particular defibrillator in question does have handheld paddles, you might see doctors prepare to use them by rubbing them together. A common misconception promoted on screen is that this is done to charge the defibrillator, but the real reason is simply to spread conductive gel on the paddles, which distributes the charge evenly and avoids burning the patient. By comparison, the automatic automatic defibrillators come with pre-jolt pads and should not be rubbed together. Additionally, it's never recommended that a person be defibrillated when they are conscious or have a pulse.
Up the voltage and hit me again.
Doing this can actually cause cardiac arrhythmias, and subsequently cardiac arrest, and subsequently death. You should probably know that, Dr. Strange. You also won't see patients spasming wildly and lurching violently up off the floor or operating table when the electric shock is administered.
Clear.
Their body will simply stiffen up and then relax.
Something else we should probably clear up while we're here is that cardiac arrest is not to be confused with a heart attack.
A heart attack is a circulatory problem and usually occurs when the blood supply is cut by a blockage. This starves the heart of blood and oxygen. In this situation, the victim is often still conscious but experiences pain, pressure, or a burning sensation in their chest, and can be accompanied by breathlessness or sweating. Neither CPR nor defibrillation should be performed on someone who is conscious and experiencing a heart attack. However, a heart attack can lead to cardiac arrest. Cardiac arrest is often caused by the electrical signals in your heart going wrong. This means your heart is no longer pumping blood around your body and to your brain. Both CPR and defibrillation need to be performed. One of the most profound misconceptions about defibrillators is that they can be used when a patient's heart has completely stopped, known technically as asystole and more commonly as flatlining.
Holy mother of God, he's flatlining! Where are those little heart paddle things that George Clooney uses? Not those! Clear! Clear!
This belief is so widely held that 2 movies have been made entirely based on this concept. The original Flatline is from 1990 and its more recent remake in 2017.
I would like you to stop my heart.
Clear!
What if you can't bring her back?
How long has she been out? 60 seconds. Clear!
This is not true.
Defibrillation can reset the rhythm of a heart that is still beating on its own, if irregularly, but if it has stopped entirely, no amount of electric shocks can make it beat again. Indeed, there actually have been academic studies into the way defibrillation is portrayed in movies. In 2014, the medical journal Resuscitation published an analysis of defibrillation scenes in recent movies, and found that defibrillators were erroneously used to treat flatlining patients in a whopping 39% of them. Incidentally, the same study also found that in scenes depicting in-hospital cardiac arrest, 88% of defibrillated patients survived, which is hilariously optimistic considering actual survival rates are unfortunately lower than 25%, and sometimes much lower.
So, let's return to the heart of the matter. Can a defibrillator actually restart your heart? Well, it really depends on what you mean.
Defibrillators can restart a heart that is beating irregularly, resetting it to a normal beating rhythm once more. However, while it breaks my heart to tell you this, a heart that has entirely ceased to beat cannot be shocked into beating again, no matter how many times you see it happen on screen.
We hope you enjoyed this topic, and if you did, please like and subscribe. And don't forget to turn on the little notifications so you don't miss our next release. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.